loves, how are you doing today? So I'm really excited. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was actually a little bit nervous to hit go live on this recording. Usually I'm pretty comfortable with getting on video, but this is the first time that I have, and I'm going to be talking about Mary Magdalene, which is something that has been coming through for quite a while. So I was just sitting with Mary Magdalene's energy and I was like, okay, Mary Magdalene is just such a powerful frequency and a powerful being that I was like, I want to do her justice. But honestly, one video can't summarize Mary Magdalene and who she is. But what can help us is just actually the direct connection with Mary Magdalene that we're actually going to do in a meditation in this session here. So before we begin this discussion and this meditation and this connection with Mary Magdalene and going into her sacred sexuality, just wanted to start by offering some Palo Santo to cleanse the space, meeting you wherever you're at in your day and where I'm at in my day, and just allowing this Palo Santo smoke to clear out some of the energy and just to allow a more ceremonial space to be created. So wherever you are, you can just gently receive this smoke etherically. This is just going to, like I said, clear out some energy and guide us into this discussion in a more sacred way. Okay, so let's talk about Mary Magdalene. And for those of you who are new to talking or thinking about Mary Magdalene or connecting with her, this is going to be a pretty cool discussion. And then there's some of you that might have been working with Mary Magdalene and the Magdalene energy for a while. So this is going to be a really cool discussion. We're just going to meet all of each other, all of ourselves. We're going to meet each other where we're at. So for me, I grew up Catholic, and Mary Magdalene was the woman, one of the main women in the Bible other than Mother Mary. But how I understood Mary Magdalene and how she was taught about to me was that she was a prostitute, and that I got this sense that she was kind of like annoying to the other apostles, or the other apostles were like, why are you letting this prostitute into, our circle? And it was just because Jesus was so kind that he allowed Mary Magdalene to be present with them and listen to them. And that was the gist of it. And oh my goodness, what an interesting twist of events. That's not actually what was the case at all. And so I kind of bought that story, and then like I said, I was raised Catholic, and then I found, a different path, my more priestess path, and I can take different elements of, different religions and allow them to connect with who I am and my past. So I don't consider myself Catholic at all anymore, but that was my background. So then last year I started to hear about Mary Magdalene just through social media or things like this. I actually remember last year around this time, maybe even on this exact day, where the Pope decreed, or whatever that word is, decreed, said that Mary Magdalene was not in fact a prostitute and was elevated into a more respectful understanding. And so I remember seeing that last year, and I was like, oh, cool, that's interesting. But I didn't really fully, connect yet with the Magdalene energy to how I have now. And then last year around, I think it was September, about September or October, I signed up with my mentor, Elaine Kalila, who runs the Priestess Presence Temple you might be familiar with. And I went onto this 4-month deep dive into the heart of the Magdalene. And I didn't really know that I was signing up for a Magdalene experience or to connect with the Magdalene energy when I signed up. I just knew that I was called. And then that was kind of my entrance into coming into this energy. And then since then, it's just been really building. And I've started to read different books that I'm going to share with you, and really understood why connecting with Mary Magdalene is so important for us as females in this day and age, or at least to think about Mary Magdalene and the idea of sacred sexuality in a different way. So Mary Magdalene was actually a priestess of Isis, a high initiate and a priestess of Isis, as was Mother Mary. Mary is actually a term that was, I'm not super familiar yet with what the term Mary meant, but it was a term of respect and honor for priestesses. And it was connected with the mother. So Mary is actually a priestess title. There is talk about why are there so many Marys in the Bible, and I heard recently that one, scholar was saying, oh, it was because, you know, there was a famous woman named Miriam or Mary that was married to the emperor and everybody wanted to have her name. And I was like, hearing that, I was like, that's not why. I was like, it's because Mary was a priestess title, and there was a lot of priestesses that were connecting with Jesus because Jesus was incredibly honoring of the sacred feminine and worked within these ancient mystery schools and the teachings of the ancient mystery schools to do what he did on this planet. So Mary Magdalene is actually an embodiment of the feminine Christ consciousness. So she was, like I said, a priestess of Isis, and actually Jesus's lover and a spiritual teacher that was on par and equal to Jesus, and they actually taught together. And there was a lot of profound healings that took place, and you know, things that couldn't have necessarily happened if Mary Magdalene was not with Jesus. And from what I understand and from the teachings that I've been receiving, a part of Mary Magdalene's path was actually to help Jesus Christ to energize his Ka body, his light body, so that he could have enough light and strength to do what he was meant to do with his life mission. And we could get really into that, but I'm not going to, because I'm going to show you this book that I'm receiving a lot of these transmissions from. This is called the Magdalene Manuscript, and it's an incredible book if you're interested in learning more about Mary Magdalene and receiving some transmissions and teachings from her. So, you know, okay, so there, she's this lover, now we understand. And there's a lot of talk, and there's a lot pointing to that Jesus and Mary Magdalene actually had a child named Sarah. And this child was, you know, hidden and maybe needed to be hidden for her own safety. And there's just so much around that. But the gist of things is that actually Jesus Christ was very, like, really deeply integrated into his sexuality and into the sacredness and power of the sexual experience. And he worked very closely with priestesses, and namely Mary Magdalene, to work with Tantric union and Tantric energy in order to really activate, like I said, his life mission. So when we're talking about Mary Magdalene, we are talking about this powerful, beautiful woman that channeled the frequencies of the female Christ consciousness very powerfully on this planet. And her name and the stories and teachings around her were actually demonized and thrown under the bus. Apparently it wasn't until around the year 400 AD where a pope, I can't remember if it was a pope or a bishop, decided that Mary Magdalene was actually a prostitute. So it wasn't until 400 years later, roughly, that her energy, her name, her reputation, Mary Magdalene, was turned into a prostitute. So pretty crazy, hey? So this, you can probably feel what this means and how this connects into this day and age, because we have the power of the feminine that's been suppressed for a very long time. And through reclaiming the Magdalene energy, the energy that she carries and still does carry as a spiritual guide for us, that is a celebration and an opening to the true power of females, and to actually reclaim her, not as a prostitute, even though, you know, there's a lot of talk around sacred prostitution, and we can get into that, but not as a prostitute, but actually as a powerful embodied sovereign woman. And so it's the story of our age, reclaiming our sexuality, reclaiming our feminine power, and reclaiming the female Christ consciousness, so that the female and the male can walk hand in hand on this planet. The teachings from ancient mystery schools centered around the idea of our inner masculine and our inner feminine meeting and merging in union. And when that happens, we can also call in a partner. Say I'm female and I'm straight, so I'd call in a male, and he would be fully embodied in his female and male energies. And through that union, that tantric union, powerful energies could move through us, and we could do a lot of sacred work just with those sexual energies, those tantric snake kundalini energies. So who would have thought Jesus and Mary Magdalene, who were associating a lot with Christianity and the teachings of Christianity, are actually some pretty sexy creatures that really resonated with the teachings of Isis and the ancient mystery schools. So I really love how it all kind of comes together and flows together like that. So far, if you have any questions, please let me know. If you're interested in this, if you're liking this, let me know. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. So before we get a little bit more into it, I actually wanted to share a couple more books. So I shared with you the Magdelene manuscript by Tom Kenyon and Judy Sion, I believe. And then here's another book that you can really get into to learn about the Magdalene energies and even Kali Ma. This is Red Hot and Holy by Sarah Beek. Really great read. And then another one that I'm working through right now, The Return of the Divine Sophia, Healing the Earth Through the Lost Wisdom Teachings of Jesus, Isis, and Mary Magdalene by Tricia McCannon. So those are a few resources for you if you would like to, if your spidey senses are going off and you're like, oh my goddess, I need to know more about this. So we can actually work with Mary Magdalene in this day and age, very much so. I actually feel like this is the day and age that is like, we're always meant to work with Mary Magdalene because we can feel this shift of consciousness. And through spiritual traditions all over the world, this exact time that we're living in has been prophesized as the turn of consciousness that is actually going to seed the next golden age on this planet. So we're living in really interesting times. I'm wearing red today, and I often wear red, thanks for the hearts, to connect with the Magdalene energy. The Magdalene energy is really associated with the rose, with the red, with the blood mysteries. Red is a deep priestess color, a deep color of the feminine and feminine power. And if you even think about how we use red today, and you can see how incredibly, thoroughly the patriarchal powers demonize the feminine, because what is red associated with? Well, when your tests are marked and you got something wrong in school, what was the color that was usually marked in? Red. Red usually means wrong or stop. A stoplight red is like a no for a stop, right? No, wrong, red in our culture. And red a lot of the time in movies is the color that is associated with the evil or the bad guy. It wasn't until Harry Potter that was a big shift, because in Harry Potter they used green, and I was like, oh, it's green, not red. That's interesting. So, but red is a power color of the feminine, a power color of the blood mystery. So what we're going to do in this discussion, we're actually going to get into a meditation to meditate directly with Mary Magdalene. And then when we come out of that meditation, we're just going to set some prayers, some intentions and prayers for our work with her as we move on. And I'm actually going to get you to get a lighter, a pen, a piece of paper, and we're going to do a little ritual together. So if you want to close your eyes with me and just allow yourself to get comfortable for a short meditation, but a powerful meditation. So on your next in-breath, I want you to just gently connect with your body and use your breath as an opportunity to connect with your inner self. The breath is coming inside of yourself, so use that as an invitation to enter your inner self. And breathe all the way down through your spine into your lower back, your womb space. Connecting with your body in this moment and releasing any energy that is pulling you out of this moment. So letting everything go other than this present moment. And on your next in-breath, we call upon Mary Magdalene to be with all of us in this meditation. Anybody who's watching now, on replay or live, it doesn't matter. We ask that Mary Magdalene and the Magdalene energy and female Christ consciousness please pour through our bodies, our minds, our chakras, our subconscious, in order to align us with the frequency that Magdalene offers. And on the next in-breath, I want you to see beautiful tree roots coming from your second chakra, your womb area. And these tree roots move down your roots and down through your legs into the soil below you. And these tree roots are burying themselves into the soil. burying themselves deeply into Mother Earth. And on every inhale and on every exhale, these tree roots move more deeply into the planet, passing that black soil, passing the darkness of inner earth down into the underground lakes and streams. And allow your roots to go all the way right into the center of Mother Earth, just really plugging in to Mother Earth and the ruby red energy at the center of the earth. And on the next inhale, I want you to breathe that red energy from the mother back through your roots, up through your tree roots, and suck that energy back into your body, allowing that red to move through your legs, up through your root chakra, and in up through your spine, connecting with the red energy of the mother. On the next inhale, I want you to move your awareness to above you now, to your crown chakra and your connection with the cosmos and the white energy of the stars above you. And breathing in this white golden light that we often associate with the Father or the sacred masculine. And breathing this white, beautiful golden energy in through the crown, feeling that starlit energy moving from the crown into the third eye, into the throat, and down into the heart, into the spine, into your arms, into your legs. And breathing in this white cosmic energy from the Father into your being. Really seeing that white light infuse your cells, infuse your organs, and infuse your whole body with this gentle yet powerful frequency. On the next inhale, allow this white energy from above and this red energy from below to meet in the center of your chest, in your heart, and seeing the red and white form into a beautiful pink energy as they meet. And this pink energy has flecks of gold around it. Breathing in and now seeing a beautiful pink rose in the center of your chest forming. And breathing into this rose, really allowing yourself to visualize what that rose looks like. Is it a rose in full bloom? Is it a rose in a bud? What cycle of life is this rose in? And breathing your energy into your chest, connecting with the Magdelene energy at the heart of the rose within. We find Mary Magdalene at the center of the rose, in the essence of the rose. Breathing that pink rose in, and on the exhale, releasing that energy so it's now empowering your aura, empowering your energy field. Breathing in and releasing on the exhale, seeing pink golden light stream through your field and open up your aura. We now call on Mary Magdalene again and the goddess Isis to come through and connect with all of us in this meditation now. We ask Mary Magdalene for guidance in this moment. Mary Magdalene, what would you have me hear now? How can I more deeply connect with my priestess path? And how can I more fully embody my truth? Mary Magdalene, what would you have me hear now? And just gently allowing any energy or information to come through to your subconscious. The questions and the answers might come through your conscious mind, but they might also not be ready for that. So if you're receiving any guidance consciously, awesome. But if when you ask for guidance, you feel like you're not really receiving anything, not to worry. You are definitely being answered. The answers are simply coming through a different level of awareness, but they are there. So Mary Magdalene, what would you have me hear now? How can I more deeply embody my sacred sexuality? How can I be an embodiment for female Christ consciousness to live on this planet if that is my choosing? And just gently breathing in and out as you sit with this powerful energy. You can picture yourself now in the very center of a red rose and see this red rose unfolding all around you. Breathing in the lusciousness of the red, the lusciousness of the rose. And allowing yourself to release anything that's not in alignment with love as you breathe more deeply. Thank you, Mary Magdalene, for guiding us to forgive. To forgive the men, to forgive the patriarchy, to forgive any ideas of who we think that men are. Please guide us to heal these old wounds that we might have towards our brothers, and guide us to see things more clearly through the lensing of love and compassion. Thank you, Mary Magdalene, for guiding us to honor our sacred sexual selves and really deeply help us to connect with who we truly are. If it is your intention or your wish to work with Mary Magdalene past this meditation, then please ask her now. Mary Magdalene, please come to me in my life always to be a guide and a mentor. I'm breathing that in. Connecting with the energy of the rose, connecting with the energy of red, connecting with the energy of the blood, and just gently receiving any information or energy that Mary Magdalene would like to bring to you now. All right, whenever you're ready, you can gently start to ground yourself and see those tree roots, reigniting the energy of the tree roots to connect with Mama Gaia below. And you can gently wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and come back to the space. And just to close this beautiful connection with Mary Magdalene, I want you to go and grab a piece of paper, a pen, a lighter, and something to put something burning in, whether that's your toilet that's close. I have like an old glass jar of a salsa container here that I don't mind if it gets charred a little bit. So I'll give you, 20 seconds or so to do that. And while you grab your paper, your pen, a lighter, I'm just going to connect with the Magdalene energy and keep that connection point here for us as you go get your pen, your lighter, your piece of paper. Just holding the frequency of the Magdalene here with us, the frequency of unconditional love and forgiveness, the frequency of the rose, the frequency of sisterhood and the priestesses, the frequency of Christ consciousness. Okay, so hopefully that's enough time for you to have grabbed your pen and paper. And I want you to write down a prayer that you might have to Mary Magdalene. So maybe you want to get more in touch with your sacred sexuality. Maybe you just want to connect with who Mary Magdalene is and she's new for you, but you really feel her and you just literally want to have a deeper connection with her. For me, I'll share my intentions with you. I want to have a much deeper forgiveness towards men in general, men in my life, my past lovers. And I want to be able to really be an open vessel for unconditional love and female loving energy. I feel like I have, enough lifetimes where I've held anger towards men and I felt really betrayed, and understandably, but in this lifetime, I'm ready to transmute that, and I'm no longer willing to carry this anger, even if it's challenging for me to let go of it. I'm going to be on that path. So I want you to write down your prayer to Mary Magdalene, and then we're going to just burn that piece of paper and prayer together as we close this ceremony. So I'll give you a minute to do that. Okay, so just allow yourself to finish up with that prayer, with that intention. Getting the little hit that that I should speak mine aloud. So you can actually, you can listen to mine and then maybe you can speak yours aloud too. So Mary Magdalene, my intention is to deeply forgive men, to deeply forgive certain men's names that are on this list, and all of my past lovers. I choose to be a chalice for unconditional love, and so it is. So just allowing that, and you can speak your prayer aloud if that feels right for you in this moment. Just speaking that prayer of what you would like Mary Magdalene's help with. And I'm holding the space that all of our prayers are energized and connect deeply with the heart of the Magdalene now. And whenever you're ready, we can send this prayer off into the ethers. Hopefully I don't start too much of a crazy fire. Decent amount of paper here. And offering this this piece of paper and this prayer up, and I'm allowing this energy and this prayer to turn into smoke. So this smoke can carry this prayer into the world of spirit and directly to source energy. And go ahead and you can also burn your prayers now. And like I said, hopefully I don't start a crazy fire. Just gonna, whoa, look at that. Okay, so the cool thing about this is all this, the prayer, the physical writings of this prayer are now becoming fire and becoming smoke. And so like I said, the prayers are making their way into the spirit world now and to Mary Magdalene herself. So you can go do that. You can burn your piece of paper. If you just joined us live and you don't really know what we're doing, I would highly encourage you to watch this video from the start again, and you can write your own intentions with Mary Magdalene. And you can also just have fun watching us because there's lots of nice energy now. This is really starting to get hot. I'm going to put it, okay. Yeah, I'm just going to put it down. I'm just going to let the fire, oh, I have like a little campfire in my house now. Fun. Ooh, I'm glad it's a glass jar. That was important. Don't do a plastic jar. Okay, so as we release, I'm guided to burn a little bit more Palo Santo to close this ceremony and close this connection with Mary Magdalene that we've had now. And thank you, Magdalene, for being here with us in this journey, sending this smoke to you. And we've really opened a portal up. So I'm sharing this right now in the Sisterhood of the Mermaid Moon group, but I'm also going to be sharing this video outside of this group. So if you are one of those people that are watching this video outside of the Sisterhood of the Mermaid Moon, I would love if you resonated with this, come back and join us in our private Facebook group. We've got so many amazing priestesses and women who are like-minded and who are really here to support one another. You can share your work, you can share your ideas, and you can meet new friends. So we would love to have you in that group if that feels appropriate. And if you're watching right now inside of the group, thanks for being in the group. I love it. I love you guys, and we have so much fun. So many blessings. May Mary Magdalene be with you. and may we open to the rise of female Christ consciousness on this planet and merge with the masculine Christ consciousness on this planet, so our world can live in harmony, balance, and all beings can be respected, loved, and fully healed. May we all be sovereign beings. May we all know ourselves as sovereign beings. And may unconditional love bless you wherever you are. Lots of love.